Hello YouTube! Today I'm going to unbox the latest, coolest versions yet of the Hogue Deka. If you're not familiar with Hogue, they're a company that is best known for making aftermarket grips for pistols, for handguns. And not surprisingly, when they got into the business of making knives, Hogue came out with some really excellent, really ergonomic grips, like this EX04, right? Look at this thing. It's got sort of swells, right? Like a palm swell here. It's really nicely textured. This is really sculpted G10. And the way they've done the pocket clip, it's really comfortable too. It doesn't stab you in the palm when you're holding this thing. This is a button lock. This is the EX04, which has this really cool Recurve blade, reverse tanto. All right. And for their 10th anniversary in the knife business, Hogue released the Deka. And the original Deka was in 20 CV with G10 handle scales, but then they came out with another version of it, which had polymer scales, polymer handles, and a CPM Magnacut blade, all right, which is this guy right here. This was considered, a direct competitor with the Benchmade Bug Out. It's very lightweight, very slender. It has what Hogue calls the Able lock, which is a crossbar lock that's basically the same thing as Benchmade's Axis lock, which they're able to do now because the patent has expired on the Axis lock. And this was extremely popular. Magnacut, of course, is the steel that everybody is after right now. It's considered to be really the best balance that you can get in a stainless steel of toughness and edge retention while having high corrosion resistance, right? And yeah, there are things that have higher edge retention, there are things that have higher toughness, but it's the balance that makes this a really desirable steel, that it does well in sort of every category. So you kind of can't go wrong with Magnacut. But even though these were really popular, one of the complaints that a lot of people had was that this polymer material was not all that grippy, and it had a lot of flex in it, right? It was squishier than the G10 versions of the Deka that have the 20 CV blades. And so there have been some aftermarket scales that have come along, and people have swapped out their polymer scales for other things. And there have been some exclusives, and like this SMKW, Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive version of the Hogue Deka in Magnacut with gold carbon fiber, which looks pretty great, and it's sturdier than the polymer. All right. So today we're going to unbox the trendiest, the latest version of the Hogue Deka with the sort of top trending steel and a new, very trendy handle material that has just been released as a exclusive at Blade HQ. And these have Ultem handle scales. What is Ultem? Well, here's an example of an Ultem handle. These are some aftermarket scales that I installed on my Spyderco PM2. Ultem is typically yellow, translucent, so you can see, almost transparent. I mean, you can see through it. You can definitely see light passing through it, and you can kind of see through it. And it's a thermoplastic. It can be textured. It's pretty grippy. It's pretty strong. And it is very much in vogue right now. there are knives that pair Magnacut and Ultem that are already on the market and have been very popular. There's Tactile Knife Company makes a version of one of their knives that has Ultem scales and a Magnacut blade. Kershaw has announced an Ultem and Magnacut version of one of their launch series automatic knives that's supposed to also be a Blade HQ exclusive. That's been listed as coming soon now for a few months. So I'm not sure when to expect that, but it is supposedly in the works. There are two blade profiles for the Deka, in addition to having a couple of different handle materials. There's the compound grind Wharncliffe and the clip point. Okay, and what I've got here is one of each. I've got one Wharncliffe and one clip point. And these were previously released by Blade HQ as an exclusive with stonewashed blade finish and Ultem handle scales. Those sold out, they're gone, and now they have just released these ones with Ultem and black coated blades. Now the black coating on this is not necessary for corrosion resistance because Magnacut is extremely resistant to corrosion and rust, but if just for aesthetics, the black goes very nicely with yellow. So let's have a look. It's got a nice pouch, Hogue sticker, limited warranty. Oh yeah, it looks great. And they've changed the thumb studs on this from black to sort of a brass color that complements the Magnacut. Okay, and let's go ahead and look at the clip point one. Very nice. You can see the Omega springs in there that operate that able lock. You can see the partial liners. All right. Now I did say this was considered a direct competitor to the Benchmade Bug Out. Let's look at that for size comparison. Here is a Bug Out. Now, Bug Out also had similar complaints with their original scales, that they were a little too flexible, and then Benchmade released them with this CF Elite material, which is more rigid. Okay, now that's not Magnacut, this is S30V, but the Bug Out is available in various steels. We'll go ahead and put this PM2 here as well for size comparison. Okay, it's a little smaller. I mean, the Deka is a little smaller than the PM2. And just for further size comparison, I'll throw a few other things up here. Here's the Demko AD 20.5. And here's a pair of 3. Cool. Well, I'm excited about these new knives. This is not a review. This is just an unboxing and first look video, but they are very attractive, I think. And I hope that I hope that these are going to be appealing to you as well. All right. Thanks.